Some people don't like getting up early. I don't mind. Check this out. It's hard to believe that this little creature has the potential to survive in such a big, dangerous ocean. Good morning, everybody. I'm hanging out with my good buddy, Larry Wood. Wait, you're a doctor now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dr. Larry Wood, doctor of marine biology. What are we doing today?
We're essentially volunteering today to help keep track of the turtle nesting that happens here on Singer Island in Florida.
Okay. What species are we most likely to encounter today?
Well, we've got 3 species that nest in Florida here. We have the loggerheads, creans, and leatherbacks. The leatherback nests mostly out for the year.
Okay.
There are a few, but we have green and loggerhead nests that should be hatching.
Awesome. And so what exactly do we need to do with these nests? You're just going to count them? Are you going to excavate any? What's happening?
So, like many beaches up and down the coastline in Florida, there's a standard protocol that everybody follows to gather data for the state. So the first piece of data that everybody wants to know is how many nests or crawls, how many efforts were there to begin with for the nesting. So we go along, and any new crawls or nests that had occurred last night, we're going to mark down and put a stick in and that kind of thing. Then after a couple of months, they start to hatch. And since the nesting began back in March, April, and May for different species nonetheless, now they're starting to hatch. So the other thing that we're looking for as we go along are evidence of hatchling tracks.
Oh, very cool.
So most of it, is looking for what happened the night before on the beach. So those are the kind of data that we collect. Then there's a third thing, is that after they emerge, it's important for us to gather as much data as we can on how successful the nest was. How many eggs produced a hatchling that actually left the nest.
Okay.
So we mark the nests that have hatched with a stick in the sand, and we wait 3 days so the nest can emerge naturally. After 3 days, those nests that are due to be dug up, we will excavate, and we will count the number of egg shells that are left in there. And by deduction, we can determine how many hatchlings had left. So that's another piece of data. So this is really about gathering information on not only the number of nests that show up, but how successful they generally are through the course of the season.
All right, well, let's get to it,
Yeah.
man. We've got 2 more volunteers that we'll meet shortly. And it's early. Some people don't like getting up early. I don't mind, especially when turtles are concerned. Awesome. How many years you been at this game now, Larry?
Well, in one form or another, 30.
30 years. And we met about 19 years ago when I first moved to Florida, so I've been here a while. There is a storm out in the Atlantic.
It's going north, right?
Yeah, it's going north. There's Franklin, I believe. And then currently, as we film this, the Big Bend region of Florida is being hit by a Category 4 storm Idalia. So there's, luckily for us, here in southeastern Florida, this is all we got. It's not bad at all. So we're kind of lucky right now, but we've endured our share of storms. Now, when a storm does hit the beach, how does that affect these hatchlings and these nests?
It has more to do with the sediment. So if the beach itself gets moved, rearranged, it can be eroded, it can be uprooted where sand comes in on top. So it really is up to it's a very random process.
Well,
some nests are going to be affected very heavily and others aren't.
right.
The part of the strategy of the sea turtle reproductive cycle is to put nests over very broad areas over a broad period of time. So some nests may get hit, but others may not. Today is the 30th, so anything from the 27th, we're going to be digging up.
Okay. I'll just let you do the math.
Oh, I was just giving you a preview.
Yes, good God.
What are the women?
Hi, Kevin. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Ken.
Nice to meet you.
I think it's Matt. Matt, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Mary.
Hi, Mary. How you doing? This is kind of fun. I actually haven't done very much sea turtle stuff. I'm always so focused on terrestrial and aquatics, but as I said, Larry and I have been friends for many years, and I've actually dove with Larry He does a lot of work with hawksbill sea turtles. That's kind of his passion project, focusing on their behaviors and the way they move, then interact with the Florida coast here. So today's kind of new for me. It's kind of fun, so we're going to see if maybe we'll get lucky and dig up a nest that actually has a few hatchlings that have actually not been able to get out, and in which case we're able to get them out into the ocean with a real test for survival. Cool. Found a nest, and you said something. It's disorientated.
Disoriented cat. Okay, let's see. What's that mean?
So this nest was originally placed here by a log cat turtle.
Okay.
Back on the 8th of July. Great. See that? And this is the alligator. So then, we have been asked 3 days ago, the 27th. When this hatched, some of the babies or all the babies went the wrong way. Okay. So that signifies that this nest, when it hatched, the babies were disoriented, or DIS is just short for disoriented, which means that some light or other artificial shading, whatever it was, got these turtles to go the wrong way. Most of the time they go to the south, because we have the sky glow that comes from the West Palm Beach area and the Florida Palm Beach.
Okay. Right. And where do you think this is out? Okay. We'll let Larry do his thing. This is County Quarter. This is actual science happening right here. Let's see. So is it so the 27th? What is today's date? Oh wow, 3 days ago. Is it possible that there might be a hatchling or two left in there?
Yeah.
Really? All right. Now, are they like aquatic turtles, freshwater turtles, where they'll begin to hatch but remain in the nest for a while until everyone has kind of got out of the egg?
Yeah, it's a collective effort to get out. Yeah.
Here we go. Here looks like there's a couple of shells. Look at this, guys. Amazing. So the tapped eggs too.
That's a real good nest. You've had some real good nests.
This is pretty good.
Oh. Okay. She dug him down deep. All right, let's see.
I don't know if maybe no babies.
That's all right. Still getting some good
So
data.
now we're going to separate them into the unhatched. So those, a lot of people ask whether those are going to hatch or not. They won't. They would have already.
Okay.
So somewhere in development, they stopped
Right.
developing.
Yeah, it happens a lot of times with reptiles. You and I have had really interesting discussions. And one of the things that stood out to me years ago was obviously, reptiles generally have a lot of eggs. Sea turtles, everyone talks about, sea turtles lay hundreds of eggs over the course, sometimes of a season, in their lifetime is incredible. And you had a really interesting point that made me stop and think. Their eggs are just deposited into, externally, into the environment. Mammal eggs, humans, their eggs are shed kind of internal.
Right.
So when you think about over the course of reproductive life, there's quite a few eggs in mammals as well.
That never turned into an offspring.
That's right.
Just kind of where they're kept.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. But anyway,
The numbers aren't too far off, really. The idea, though, either way, is to get just enough of those eggs to turn into another reproductive adult. So it's one thing to get them out of the nest. It's another thing to grow up.
yeah.
So these turtles in their lives, they've got to get to be, 20 years old on average before they're able to reproduce themselves. So the differences between this reptile and other types of reptiles is that they're doing this, and I'm going to broadcast my eggs, but they're also going to be long-lived.
Right.
And
That's kind of the reward
right.
for becoming reproductive and an adult turtle. Once you become, I always say, they're as close to immortal as you can find on Earth. Man, and a few other species, like certain whales, they live a very long time. And that's why it's so important to not hunt and take the reproductive females,
Right.
the adults, out of that ecosystem, because they're the ones that are really feeding everyone else over the course of their reproductive lives. So what are you reporting and taking?
The number of unhatched
Right.
versus hatched versus live or dead hatchlings.
Or if there's one that it didn't try to come out, but it died.
Right.
They call that a dip.
Let's check this out. So these are pick one. I like the one you were going for. It's still kind of turbid there.
You ready? There you go. Okay. So we have 2, 4,
Look at that.
8,
Infertile.
12, 14, 16,
Nothing in it.
18, 2,
So that's interesting. So just like my tortoise eggs, sometimes they don't get fertilized for whatever reason. Those eggs just didn't develop.
Fertile.
Look at that. Again.
Nothing wrong with it. Just it had the cake. That makes us.
Well, again, a lot of this, a lot of the reason you see reptiles have so many eggs is they actually feed the ecosystem. They're giving food. That's still nutrients.
We see their nutrient transport from the marine to the terrestrial environment. So
That's cool.
they're giving a lot from the ocean, nutrients that generated in the ocean will be provided. Because most of these eggs would end up within the ecosystem of terrestrial predators.
Raccoons, possums.
So it's a nutrient transfer.
That's really cool. So when you hang out with Larry, you learn all these different terms, nutrient transfer, all kinds of fun scientific terms, which I don't get. We're all done. Thank you so much. Just the fact that a nest hasn't been predated in 24 hours is fantastic, right? Usually
Right,
most
so-
of them get torn
Well,
up.
and it's interesting about that is the difference now, since the conservation and management of sea turtles started in the state, back in the late 80s, is that one of the more important aspects of conservation was trying to tamp down on it. And then there's a sense that the more hatchlings that get a chance to get off their cage are going to be have a better chance to get back and become adults. So at this point, the statewide natural predation rates are now below 10% costly.
Okay.
So what used to be hundreds of years ago, a system where predators are coming and taking 80, 90% of the eggs, nowadays we may be doing better with the physical protection of the nest, but as we saw, just discussed, now we have lights.
Yeah.
So a bear
trade-off.
didn't eat those hatchlings, but those hatchlings, many of them went into the zoo and they died. Dude, so you can do one good thing and then hit them with another. So it is a bit of a trade.
What's this?
Debris.
Oh no. We got debris we can clean up. It looks like some kind of nail polish. An interesting thing is, how do these turtles know to come back? We just saw a nest of a green turtle. And
That's leftover the seaweed thing.
what's the seaweed floor from?
Just so remember the seaweed washes up on the beach. You heard a lot about that where, oh my gosh, there's too much seaweed. Never really happened. But this is what happens to it. It becomes decomposed and this is adds nutrients to the whole system as well.
There we go.
No, there's a story. Not so good, baby.
Oh, look at this, guys. Here's a baby that died in the nest. right there. And that's typical of, again, many reptiles. You'll have, the fight for survival starts immediately. And these guys are born just to be nutrients to other animals. You
toss that speak show.
So we've got a couple of 3 there.
Okay, this is going to be not so pleasant.
You can tell by the smell.
Right, this is a bad nest, yeah.
This is a bad nest.
But beyond that,
Oh, wow.
Here is a shame.
Now, the reason you're digging these up is not to save the nest. This is purely for data.
right, we want to find out how often this happened this season and where.
This is kind of actually a big deal here. What could potentially cause such a catastrophe in the nest here?
Could have been longer.
Well, my original thought was I did notice it does look like the sand is a little moist. So you think this could have been they drowned in the nest?
Wow.
This is bad. Yeah, if they come out of the shell
Part of the job?
and then it's swamped, they can't get out, but then they drown.
Yeah,
This is also very deep. But it had a sand deposit on top.
Oh, I see. What was the term you used for that? Was there another term for the sand? Accretion.
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 To erosion and accretion. Really deep.
Yes, so there's so many factors at play for these animals.
Yes.
It's even hard to tell the carcasses sometimes. They get so bad.
Yeah.
And make sand.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, huh? So you're basically just gonna count the shells, count the. Do you think that this was a total loss?
It looks like it's pretty close to him. This is a.
This one was just breaking out.
It's called pit. Remember that?
Yeah. Kind of a bummer, huh? How often do you see nests in this condition?
First one I've seen in a while.
Okay, that's good news.
This year.
What species loggerhead?
7-Eleven.
Would you consider them to be the most plentiful turtle in this area? Like the most popular? Seems like we're known for loggerheads.
Well, we're known for loggerheads because 90% of the entire Atlantic population comes here to reproduce.
Okay.
So we are usually, we see more. Or usually, because I see it was like, oh, loggerheads all over the place. We go anywhere else, really not so.
Gotcha.
But technically speaking, by the book, yeah, loggerhead turtle is in the lake versus your greens and your leatherbacks, which
You do it for a while, you memorize all the building.
Gotcha.
You said 27 unfertilized, 67 dead, 3 pip dead, 0 live, and 88 eggs.
That's a major loss. So whatever did it, whether it was the sand pouring on top of them or was it water, it trapped them in the nest. Yeah.
Just got trapped down there. Like, couldn't get out, and then they figured out about 10 minutes.
Forget that these guys are air-breathing animals. They can hold their breath for a long time, but they can't do it indefinitely. So that's kind of a bummer, man. It's a major loss. It's a lot of offspring.
Yeah, Earth out the one hit.
Wow.
Sorry. Repeating it, that's that way.
What we got? Get out of here! Look at that! That's amazing. This guy was just at the surface. We just got here. Oh, that's so cool. That's a green turtle, huh? Oh, sweet. No way. Well, this is great news as opposed to what we just witnessed. I don't think you're allowed
no,
to
not
touch.
yet. No, we'll get him down to the wire.
Yeah,
He's
don't-
got to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, and then I think there are very specific legalities.
We're just going to leave him be for now.
Right. These are a federally protected species, so you're really not supposed to put hands on unless you have the proper permitting. But look at this. Look at this guy here, man. That's so cool. I've never seen a baby green.
Yeah, I figured that would be kind of cool.
That is beautiful. He's going to wipe some of that sand from his eyes. So this was a hatched nest. So this guy's probably one of the last ones to emerge.
Right. He, for some reason, decided to hold on and wait.
No, I can get it from here.
Wow, that's a deep nest.
Yeah,
You haven't-
greens are a pain.
You haven't even found any shells. I am gonna intervene here if I don't want him to fall back into it. That's crazy. What do you think? You're in the wrong spot, maybe?
No, it's just a green.
Oh, what? So they typically lay deep?
The big turtle, they
Okay.
build a body pit. So they dig themselves down into the beach
Okay.
before they even start.
So rad.
Yeah, he's got a lot of sand on his eye.
Yeah, he'll tear. Usually they'll tear and get rid of that or get in the water. Yeah, that's good. Wow. This turtle was no joke. Big mama. There we go.
The wind, the sand builds up on top. too.
Gotcha,
It
yeah.
starts out deep and then the sand builds up on it. It gets even deeper.
He's finally hit the.
Mother room.
Yep. Hey, I'll tell you though, Larry, this is really cool to see a little guy like this. Now this guy was right at the surface.
That's how his nose sticking out.
That's funny. Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of they're exhausted from the effort just to get out. Think about how deep that was for Larry to dig. This turtle is very exhausted, as someone mentioned, and it's an effort to hatch. It's an effort to dig out, especially if this guy has to dig out by himself, and then it's one heck of an effort to get to the
As it
beach.
get live.
Oh, we got another liver? All right, look at this guy. We got two, man. This guy's a little more lively. Here we go. That is awesome.
See the other one coming around.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up to this. Yeah, that's so cool. It's hard to believe that this little creature has the potential to survive in such a big, dangerous ocean. And I think part of it, Larry, as far as survival is, they want to go unnoticed, right? It's like throw a bunch out in there, and it's the ones that just kind of, it's almost
These
the luck
are more
of the draw.
relying on.
Are they? Okay.
The green turtle is the speedy one.
I just don't want him to fall back into that nest. He's waking up a bit, Larry. He's rested.
Want to go here? They did what they want to do.
We'll let him go.
Oh my gosh.
So, do you let them do the whole walk back to the beach, or yeah?
Yes, you are very curious.
That was the first one.
Finally. I like how they lift their little heads up.
Yeah, I love that too. Look at him, and he sees the sun. Look at this, guys. This is so cool. You're going the wrong way, buddy. Going the wrong way. Here he goes. He sees the sun. Let me get out of the way, and then there we go. They'll start going. That is amazing.
Oh, they've got a long way. This is the furthest
this is incredible.
nest from the beach. This
Right?
is so beautiful.
Well, there's even a nest. If you look back here, there's a nest way up by the dune, and we are so far. And then when you shrink yourself,
only this big.
right? When you shrink yourself to their size, it's a Herculean effort.
Decent photo in there. See how deep that was.
Look at that. Yeah, go ahead, stick the GoPro down in there.
Deep.
So that 2-3 inch long hatchling had to dig out of what looks to be over 24 inches. That's over 2 foot deep. That's pretty incredible. And then I love the telltale signs, which is what we were looking for earlier, but because of the wind today, it gets buffed out. But look at him go.
Right, so now you can see what we're looking for when we've had a recent hatch. So those tracks in the sand, clue that we got, and we followed those back to the spot.
So you can't intervene,
Yeah, we're gonna.
but we can, as a civilian, I can intervene, but as a PhD doctor, he can.
Well, as a person who's on the permit.
That's what I mean. He's on the permit,
Could
so.
be a homeless person.
Awesome.
No.
I got PD. That's so cool, Larry. So, does this ever get old for you?
Oh no, that's why I still volunteer to do this.
Yeah. So he's not paid to do this. Volunteer for the Singer Island. What's it, Singer Island? Sea Turtle Conservation League of Singer Island. There you go. I should know about that. And one of the many volunteers here today, if you want to pan off show everybody doing good work here. Sometimes people think, or science thinks, that we have to have a hands-off approach. But my opinion, it's purely an opinion, is that we have done so much to make their lives difficult. It's only fair that we give them a little bit.
Fire ant fight.
Oh wow, that's what that is, a fire ant fight.
Where are we looking at? There's spots. Those are fire ant moving.
At age with that.
We did experiments on actual experiments on that many years ago, and it was about 8 to 10 bites, or a dozen bites would usually be enough to kill them.
It is a venom that they're using in that life. Wow, so cute. It's so cool. I think, Larry, this has been a really cool morning. And I like to end on a high note. So actually having 2 turtles found in the nest, 2 late bloomers, if you will, are going to get their chance. Now, the reality is their battle's only just begun, because they've got to go survive the many predators that are out there at sea.
Hey, though.
Why would you say it's a good day?
Kind of wavy. It's it's going to be harder for the predators to see.
Okay, very cool. So,
Clear, flat water, they're more obvious. So.
all right, very cool. Here we go, guys. We're gonna give them their chance at life here. That is awesome. The other good thing is that all of us standing around is keeping any birds away.
That's rad. You know what? I'm gonna go for him as wild.
I'm actually gonna get in the way here, buddy, and bam, get a little Kamp Kenan action here. That is awesome. Look at that, he's about to hit the water.
Back to space.
White little guy, we'll see you in about 20 years if you're a gal. And hopefully that animal will reproduce. And there'll be more sea turtles on the beach here at Singer Island. I want to say thank you to all the volunteers that are doing good work for these animals. Say thanks to my buddy Larry. Spent 19 years hanging out with this guy. I get in some great conversations. I want to also give you an opportunity to talk really briefly. You have a book available, a pre-order right now. So what's the name of the title?
Yeah, so it's called My Home in the Sea,
Okay.
The Diving Memoirs of Noreen Roust.
Awesome.
It's a collection of Noreen Roust's diving logbook notes that she took through the course of 20 years here in Palm Beach. So she was able to tell the story of life on Breakers Reef, basically right here in Palm Beach, over the course of 20 years. And so I took her notes and put them together into kind of a story about what it was like to be there for them.
I can't wait to get my hands on. I'm going to get an autographed copy. Why don't you guys go on to Amazon? You can
Any of your favorite booksellers, right?
There you go.
My Home in the Sea.
Awesome. I hope we get some books sold for you.
All right, man. Thank you.
Interesting guy. Thank you so much for joining us. Great time here on the beach. It's always good to wake up early, save turtles. See you guys.
Good job, man.